Hello, everybody. My name is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. And today's title is multi streams of giving. Multi streams of giving. Now, I know that I've done a lot of videos on this. And again, it's one of those things that as soon as your personal philosophy changes, then everything changes. So there's this whole mentality out there about people that are focused on themselves and they're focused on them trying to earn income. And the sad thing about that is when you're building a people business and you need other people to help you get what you want, to do what you want. Now, what you got to do is you got to focus on what's in it for them. WIIFM. When you're talking to people, it's what's in it for them. And so I'll never forget this. When I sit down, there's a number of cool stories that I have. And guess what? Today's podcast that we do 1:00, so 1:00 Pacific, 4:00. Was that 4:00 Eastern? I'm actually going to have Matthew and Angel Megler that runs the orphanage. I'm going to have them on the podcast today, and to give gratitude to the people that are inner circle members, and also to the super chatters. They don't know this yet, but well, I guess they do. But this organization of people that follow me that do super chats, I decided personally to match it dollar for dollar. And so we gave them $2,000. So in the podcast, I'll mention it a number of times, but I want each and every one of you to know that because you're an inner circle member and also you've been a super chatter, you get to see and you are part of that giving to those orphans and those people. So I'm just blown away. I can't wait to see you guys there. But anyway, there always became this situation where, because I'm sort of humble and grateful and have a lot of appreciation for stuff, there's no way for me to grow, because a lot of you won't believe this, but I'm not money motivated. I'm not money motivated. Do you find that hard to believe? So a lot of people might not be money motivated, but because I want to help other people supplement their income and double their income and eventually replace their income, because I'm always looking for people that need better quality products instead of buying them from the big guys. Why not buy it from a company where we all can together generate a revenue to take care of our families and our legacies, to give money to those? And so because I'm always focused on helping other people, I just always get involved in companies like MDC, that when I help other people earn income, the company pays me a lot of money. And so what I do is I set challenges for myself to keep me motivated on how much money I'm going to give to this one and how much I'm going to give money to this one and how much. And right now, the major charities that I do, and you're going to see this as Jesus Way, Matthew and Angel and I met over 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And they sat with me and asked me for my help to help them take care of children that don't have parents. And time goes by so fast, so I can't wait for you guys to hear these two talk. But in 10 years, there's been children that have already graduated and they've already gotten college degrees and they've already, now are out in the workforce making incredible income and they're giving back. So it's this whole thing where what motivated me was the first thought of, could I help a few kids? And then, maybe I could help like 200 kids. And then all of a sudden I got introduced to the St. Jude Children's Hospital. And so on my Facebook, every time I had a birthday, I would give St. Jude's and raise money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital because I believe in them and who they are. And then, believe it or not, through Eric Worre, on a stage with Eric Worre, he introduced me to Bill Austin, and Bill Austin is the guy that runs the Starkey Hearing Foundation. And you guys can see this all on documentationbeatsconversation.com. So, not only got the patent and the trademark, but the domain. And if you go there, you'll be able to see the charities, the multi streams of charities that I give to. So with Bill Austin, here's a guy that's a multi-billionaire, and he said that he'd match people's money 5 for 1. So if you gave $100, he would give 500. And so what he does in his team, they fly around the world and fit children with hearing aids. And I'll never forget his quick thing that he said, and I'd like to share it with you guys. Is he basically said, listen, have any one of you ever been in a situation where you're by yourself and you're walking outside, you even could be inside, and you hear a noise, and when you hear the noise, just for a moment, you go, I wonder what that is. That a dog, or is someone in the house? And so all of a sudden, you get this little bit of a panic, right? And you, instead of walking, you walk a little faster. And then our mind is so powerful that we go, man, I'm still hearing it. So now you're in a trot, you know what I mean? You're jogging. And then the next thing you hear it, and then you're in a wide open run. So I don't know if this has happened to you. It's happened to me many times where I've allowed my mind to get the best of me, of thinking about something that was there that wasn't really there. In fact, I get chills right now thinking about it. So you like run into the door, and you shut the door, and you're breathing hard because you're running so fast, and you look out the window and there's nothing, right? But you still imagined that there was something. And so Bill Austin got the whole entire crowd in this state, and I was in this state. And he says, do you understand that people that can't hear, children that can't hear, feel like this all the time? I was like, what? Because their mind still has imagination, but they never feel safe. And I'm like, man. And he said, so for children that can't afford it, I like fitting them with hearing aids, not only to let that part go away, but for them to be able to hear the words, I love you, to be able to hear a bird, to be able to hear music, to be able to hear all the wonderful things that we take for granted. But a lot of people don't know that the first thing that they hear when their ears are working is they get to hear themselves. They get to hear themselves. So, they get to hear their words, and that's what allows them to be able to talk correctly. And it just blew me away. So I remember when I was there, so Bill Austin said, I'm matching everyone 5 to 1. And I can remember like it was yesterday. There's a video of it online, where I just handed a $10,000 check to Eric Worre right there on stage. And I'm not saying that to any of you right now. I'm not saying that to you for me to be bragging or anything. And then all of a sudden, when I got involved with My Daily Choice, a couple of years after we were involved, then all of a sudden they did, the Josh Wagel, the Wagel Foundation. And it just came naturally for me when I found out that they were giving money to stop human trafficking, when all of a sudden they had this kinship. Kinship means that children that don't have a mother and father that can raise them, that one of the family members, the relatives, decide to take and do that. And Scott McKinney, thank you so much for that. So, one of my favorite awards that I've ever gotten is this one right here. And so, can you imagine? And I want you guys to imagine. I really want you guys to imagine. Can you imagine getting an award on stage for your contribution to helping other people? I'm like, so I've gotten these neat things from the Starkey Hearing Foundation. I've gotten cool things from the St. Jude Children's Hospital, that trophy from Zwagel. And then, just a personal gratitude of the stuff that I've done with Jesus Way, which is going to be on the podcast today. So for those of you that are not money motivated, you got to find ways to start giving money to streams of giving of things that you believe in. My wife, she gives money to animals. You know what I mean? So that's where her giving is. And so there's this phrase that I know you guys have all heard, but I'm going to ask you and challenge you just to do a little bit, just to do a little bit. So, when you could turn around and say, I'm just going to be like, I know I'm shifting gears here, but people, when I was, someone asked me all the time, if you were young, what would you tell your younger self? What would you tell your younger self? And today I would tell them that I wish I would have been disciplined and learned the concept of compounding interest. You know, Albert Einstein says that the eighth wonder of the world is compounding interest. Those that understand it make money from it, and those that don't understand it pay for it. So I know that all of you know people that have credit cards, including me, that pay an interest or a home loan. So the people that understand compounding interest make a lot of money. And so if I was disciplined and knew about that when I was in my 20s, and think about if every one of you, like the richest man in Babylon, if you just consistently took a little bit out of every check that you got to put it into a fund that just kept growing and kept growing and kept growing and kept growing. That is one thing that I would change. Another thing that I would do if I did change that, then I would have more money than I have had, and I would have been able to give to more children. I would have been able to give to more people. So, when you figure out that, you want to be able to put 10% to pay yourself to put into something that grows. And then what you want to do is figure out the percentage that you want to give to growing. Because if you give it to people, it doesn't have to be a church. For some of you can do it. Lisa Marie, thank you so much. I love your heart too. Is now all of a sudden you're that's where true happiness comes from. I think we've already said this many a times and you guys have heard it, but there's more joy in giving than receiving. And for people that are parents, and maybe you don't even have to be a parent, but when you give something to somebody else that puts a smile on their face, that, Terry and I are watching a show, I forget what it's called, like Travelers or something, but it was really funny where this guy was looking at this girl and he was circling the same lottery numbers that she put down. And so he won the money. He won $31,000. And so when he seen the girl again, he said, I feel guilty for taking the same numbers as you did. So when I got my 31,000, I gave it away. I gave it to all these people. and she goes, really? And he goes, it felt so good that I gave away my bike. And she goes, so you're going to get a new one? No, I don't have enough money to buy a new one. So she said, with my earnings, I'll buy you a bike. But a lot of people don't understand that the true way to fulfillment, and the true way to happiness, the art of fulfillment, is learning how to be disciplined to consistently give the first offering of your fruits to people in need. And if you're consistent with that and consistent with that, it's like when you sow, you reap, and you sow, you reap. And if you ask the majority of the people on the planet how much they give to others in form of cash or time, they would say nothing. And so it's sort of like the what is it called? The horse before in front of the cart. It's like people always mentally say that if I had more money and I had more time, then I would give more money and I would give more time. And people don't get that virtually everything in life, why a majority of the people, and this is a big number, but it's true, look it up. 97% of the people on the planet are constantly doing life the wrong way. So what they do is they say they're going to give, and they're going to give of their time and their money and their wisdom. They're going to do that when they get it. But the other 3%, the other, people that are, you know, make more than the other 97% is 3% of the people on the planet own more, and the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's because they understand that when their first money comes in that they give. And when the money goes up, they give more. And when the money goes up, they give more. And when the money goes up, they give more. And so I can always look at the exact amount of money that I'm bringing in for myself, that now, right now, the world, the universe is treating me like a vessel. The more money that comes in from my inner circle, the more money that comes in from my super chatters. If you guys are seeing this right now, you see a box below and it's got a little dollar sign in it. So this money, not only does 100% of this money goes, and YouTube takes uh, merchant fees, they take all this kind of stuff out of the money. But I've already pledged that everyone that does a super chat with me, 100% of that money, I'm going to take cost of the fees, but that money's going to go to these children. And so what I decided to do is, when Matt let me know that with the super chatters, again with Scott and Lisa today, and all the super chatters, that we brought in over $1,000. And so now I'm going to match that dollar for dollar, and I'm going to give this orphanage, Jesus Way. And you guys will see it on the podcast, and you're responsible for it. So you're going to see a donation that I've already sent to them for over $2,000. And you guys got to understand that that's just not me. That's just not me. That's you. That's you and the people that are consistently following, trying to making this place a better place, being a wonderful becoming. And so I love in each and every one of you. If you're not giving, figure out how. If you discipline yourself and give a dollar a week or a dollar every payday, then that can increase to $2. That can increase to $5. And I believe that you should do multiple streams. Find out what you love most, and please follow that lead. So if you don't have someone to give, it's going to sound funny, but give to the Hollis organization. Because if you give to the Hollis organization through super chats and being an inner circle member, then guess what? You're going to see that I'm going to consistently be giving this money to children in need. So that makes you a part of that. That's you sowing and being a part of that. I see Melody Riva here. She's knowing that I've done this since she met me. And it's really, really neat to be a part of that. So I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Please try to apply the multiple streams of giving. Isn't it funny that there's a large group of people in the world that are telling you that you need multiple streams of income? I'm telling you, the fastest way to get there is multiple streams of giving, because now you're not worried about your thoughts or worried if you're going to pay your bills. You're thinking about helping other people. You're thinking about helping other people. And that's what's so cool about this. So I love and appreciate you guys. Do me a huge personal favor. Share this video with others. And if no one's ever giving you permission to be fulfilled and happy, let me be the first. My mentors did that to me. I would love that to do that for you. So have a great day. I guess we'll see you in 40 minutes back here on YouTube live to watch the podcast today. And I guess we can just keep doing that. We can just say the podcast today will be giving or make a difference. Matt's really good. He'll come up with something great. So love and appreciate you guys. See you soon on the podcast. And you can go check out, boy, do we miss Craig. So Craig's on vacation right now with his incredible girlfriend, and they'll be gone until the beginning of August. So I got Matt still helping me in the background, but we'll see you guys very, very soon. Have a blessed day. A majority of you that are inner circle members, I pray by you by name. I pray for you and your families, and I love and appreciate you. So see you guys there. Bye for now. We'll talk to you soon.